On Tuesday, 7th March, the St. Lucia Tourist Board convened a press conference to update the media on tourism performance for 2016 and the status of the soon-to-be launched Tourism Authority. Whilst the Caribbean in 2016 experienced an increase in tourist arrivals, St. Lucia recorded a decline in the area of tourism and visitor arrivals. Yachting, stayover arrivals, airlift, and the cruise sector were all impacted.
2016 was not a very good year for tourism for St. Lucia. While the Caribbean grew by about 4.5%, we experienced a decline of 8%. It was driven by a decline in the cruise arrivals of 13%. Stayover arrivals stayed flat with a 1% increase, and the yachting arrivals also declined by 1%, 0.9%. So overall, the impact was an 8% decline in visitor arrivals. In terms of the markets, the U.S. market continues to be our strongest market. There was growth of 2.3% in the U.S. market, and it accounted for 45% share of total arrivals. The Caribbean this year surpassed all the other markets, the UK in particular, to become the second largest market for St. Lucia, and it grew by 7%. That's the largest growth in any one market for that year. The UK, however, dropped.
The press conference also focused on efforts to make St. Lucia more attractive as a wedding and honeymoon destination. Chairperson for the St. Lucia Tourist Board, Ms. Agnes Francis, stated that developing St. Lucia's image as a romance market would be one of the areas which would increase tourism arrivals during specific parts of the year.
We need to take a strategic approach to how we reposition St. Lucia as a romance, a weddings and honeymoons destination, and because it helps fill the troughs in the summer months where we have declines. The tourism arrivals are not consistent year-round. We have troughs and peaks, and the troughs are in the summer months, and the romance market is significant for us in that period. So we need to take a look at what it is we need to do to increase the image of St. Lucia as a romance destination.
Regarding the implementation of legislation for the new Tourism Authority, Ms. Francis explained that documentation is being finalized by the Ministry of Tourism and will be presented to Parliament within the second week of March. The Tourism Authority will consist of 5 divisions: marketing, product development with destination services, research with strategic planning, finance, and corporate services.
We have a draft bill in front of us. It has been discussed at the board, and we have finalizing it with the Ministry of Tourism, and it's expected to be presented to Cabinet in the next week, and before the end of March it is expected to be taken through Parliament so that we have legislation in place by the 1st of April. There will be 3 divisions that will focus on the work of the authority, and the other 2, finance and corporate services, will provide support to the board of directors and the officers of the tourist board. So the intention is that as soon as the legislation is passed, the jobs can be advertised, and we're hoping during the month of April to start all the advertising for the vacancies and start the recruitment process then.
Minister for Tourism, Dominic Fede, spoke about the Act and how it would allow for greater involvement of the private sector, ensuring that the best decisions are made for a more profitable and sustainable tourism industry.
Because I think what it does, very importantly, is that it depoliticizes the process by which the directors of the institution is chosen. So the Act will propose that the private sector will have a greater involvement in terms of the recruitment of travel professionals, so that we ensure that the decisions coming out of the authority are in the best interest of tourism.
With the recent developments proposed for the island, it is the hope of the St. Lucia Tourist Board that economic activity will be spurred over the next 3 years through the Tourism Authority. Randall, Lubin, CTV News.